Hey, action takers, would it benefit your business scaling efforts if you were able to attract your ideal customers like clockwork and convert cold prospects into enthusiastic clients effortlessly? Would that have a massive impact on how fast you'll be able to scale your business? I'm awesome, Angie Ingstrom.
And I'm Gitte Odgaard, and welcome to Momentum Podcast Makers. We are so pumped because we have a special guest today. We have Christie Ruffino.
Woohoo! Welcome, Chris.
Yoo-hoo! Welcome, Christie.
Oh, I'm excited to be here with you girls today. We're going to have so much fun.
Oh, we are.
Absolutely.
And we are so excited to have you here. So that's amazing. And we're also so excited about what you'll be sharing with us today. Now, what we can guarantee for you listeners is this is going to be mind-blowing. This is going to be so amazing because, yeah, Christy, you have such great input, and also you're so fun. So this is going to be amazing. Now, if you don't know Christy, we're just going to do a short bio on her, just to set the record straight. Now, Christy, you wear a lot of hats. You're an author, you're a speaker, and you're also a strategic profitize your purpose coach.
Yes, ma'am.
And what I like about you also is that you were actually divorced a lot of years ago, and it left you with two kids you had to raise on your own, 8 and 12 years old. And you decided that you didn't want a mediocre life for you and your family. So what you've actually done, and I think this is amazing, you created a successful business, and today you actually where you already created multiple six-figure businesses, and that is so amazing. So I'm hoping we'll have time to dive into some of that today. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
Yes, well, thank you for joining us, Christy. And so let's jump into it. What got you inspired to start your business?
Yeah, so Gitte, definitely what you just shared, that is what happened. I was left after a divorce where my focus at that point had been helping my husband at the time create a very successful business. And when my life was turned upside down, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had my resume basically didn't show a whole lot, that I worked for my own company. And so that's not always a desired asset when you're out there looking for a good paying career. And unfortunately, I was in a situation where I wasn't getting support, and I didn't know how I was going to keep my home, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And it's funny how when you don't have a choice, you end up by getting out of your comfort zone and doing something you wouldn't normally do. And so even though that was a very stressful time, it was a time that allowed me to grow and eventually get to where I am now. And so what that looked like, and now I'm going to take my story and just condense it to a really short version. I got a job in the mortgage profession from somebody at my church. I had to go out and get clients, and that was, as an introvert, something that I didn't want to do. However, I heard about the whole concept of a leads group. And so that was my very first business. Is I ended up by creating one chapter of a networking group that turned into a multiple chapter national organization. And that was my first six-figure business. I never meant to start a networking organization, but because I had no choice, I was really forced to tap into my strengths, discover my passion, and let that fuel my purpose to create that first business. And so how that evolved was I was asked about 10 years into that to share my story, but how I was able to take, a near bankruptcy situation and turn it into a successful business. And I said no at first because I was scared, and I just didn't think anybody cared about me and my story. But I realized, after being kind of questioned by the person that invited me in, I realized that my story could help others. So I said yes. And that was my journey to into the publishing world. And since then, I have published quite a few books for myself, but I've been fortunate to work with hundreds of women to help them share their inspirational stories so that they can first learn about their purpose and then step into it and share their story so they can help others. And that's, Angie, how we first connected. Yes, you were in our Overcoming Mediocrity Resilient Women book, and it's just been a joy to meet women like you and so many other women on their journey to get their stories out there to make a bigger impact in the world.
Yeah, that
So
was,
amazing.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
so fun.
and it's so relatable. I'm actually also a single mom, so I sort of know that feeling of wanting to create something for your kids. That's so amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it really is.
So what, in your business, what's the biggest result that you help your clients get?
Yeah, so we still publish books. I still have a system to help people discover their signature story and write it and leverage it to attract clients and connect with people and to serve people. But what I discovered after so I've been doing the publishing piece for about 12 years, but about 8 years into that, I realized that there were so many women that kind of came to the conclusion that their mess is what prompted them to pursue something specific and to like fulfill a bigger mission, and they wanted to build a business around that and they didn't know how. And so my current core program helps people monetize their mission. I have a system that will help them. I partner with them, so it's a no risk type of an offer where I partner with them and help them create that business where they get in the program and then they pay me as I help them reach specific revenue milestones. Not every business, not every mission can turn into a profitable business, but if I think it's a good fit, my goal right now is to help those single moms, help those women that want to get out there and create their legacy business, do it in a way that kind of allows them to sidestep all of the landmines, not take a lot of actions that don't get results, and basically create a streamlined process to launch a high ticket offer that can become their ongoing revenue stream. So that's kind of like my current mission right now as a Profitize Your Purpose coach.
Amazing. Would you be willing to just reveal a little about the system you use for doing that?
Oh, yeah. So I have a 5-stage process, and it is all about, first one is dominating your niche. And that's a key piece is you need to not be a generalist. You need to, unfortunately, a lot of entrepreneurs have a hard time with this, and they want to help everybody. They have a big heart, right? They want to help everybody. They don't want to turn anybody away. But in their effort to become this, solution for everybody, it really eliminates the power that they have to rise above the competition and be seen as a specialist. And so I kind of equate that to a brain surgeon. You're not going to go to your general doctor if you need brain surgery. And if you can figure out how you can be the brain surgery of your specific area of expertise, so that way you can help more people. And that doesn't mean you're not going to help somebody that's not necessarily in your niche. You can still help them, but you're becoming more magnetic to the type of people that are really going to resonate with you and that are, more importantly, ready to say yes to make a change because you're connecting with them based on their pain points. And so that's like the first key, is to make sure you're dominating your niche by becoming the queen of whatever it is that you are so good at. So that's number one. Stage 2 is to monetize your methodology. That's creating a duplicatable system so that way you can have a business that will scale, not in a way that you're working more, but eventually so you can work less and serve more people. What I help people do is design their open enrollment high ticket program. So that's
Amazing.
yeah.
I'm taking notes, by the way, so everybody should hit the
Yeah,
paper.
me too. Me too, definitely.
This is
Yeah.
awesome,
This,
Christie.
this is gold. This is
Yeah.
gold, Christie. Yeah.
Want
All
me
right,
to
keep
continue
going.
on to all the 5 stages? So stage 3
Yeah,
is
sure.
up level to luck. So in my process, I help them launch their beta as more of an affordable process So that way it allows them to serve a lot of people, really refine their program, and then get your case studies. And people love being in a beta program because they recognize that they're going to be able to get a great deal, and they have more comfort because that teacher is going to be more invested in their success because they need those case studies. And so stage 3 is up leveling and using the beta process to get people in so you can add more benefits and experiences to get that entry-level program into a high-ticket program.
Wonderful. So let's recap. What number 1 was it? What was that again?
Dominate your niche.
Dominate your niche.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Monetize your methodology.
Number 3.
Up level to Lux.
And now we're on number 4.
Prospect conversion machine. So create your prospect conversion machine so that now you've got your program done. You have all of the systems in place to serve your clients in a way that allows you to have control over your schedule. You can help in a high ticket program, at least the way I help clients design it. You can help a huge amount of people without creating more time blocks on your calendar. And so once you have that in place, then you need to create that kind of cold to sold funnel. So every activity you do online will kind of like invite people into your pipeline. So that way they can potentially be clients if they feel that you are the right fit for them. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I see entrepreneurs make out there is they're doing social media and they're building their Facebook and they're building their YouTube. I was one of them. I was creating a ton of activity for myself out there, but I didn't have a way to convert those people into a program that was timeless. I'm not a fan of big launches. I'm not a fan of doing activities only like quarterly or doing activities and not having something in place to enroll people into. But if you have a open enrollment program, no matter when you do an activity online, no matter when somebody watches your YouTube video, you can get them into a process so that way if you can fulfill their needs at that moment when they're ready, you can get them in the process of working with you.
Nice, beautiful. And you've got a 5th one too, right?
So the 5th one is just scaling. It's about creating the process in your business so you can bring on board affiliate partnerships, and you can create an affiliate program for your clients to refer to, and then you can start outsourcing. And it's just all of the things that you've been building to become more scalable, but now implementing them. So then that way you kind of just have that machine going. You're only showing up for sales conversations where you could eventually outsource that. But I think that's a key piece to make sure you have the right people in your program. But sales conversations and then your fulfillment time. And if like my schedule is blocked where I work, my fulfillment days are Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's it. And so just a couple hours on those 2 days. And then I have sales conversations and I do my podcast interviews, which I love. And then it leaves me Mondays and Fridays to have for whatever I choose to do.
Love that.
Amazing. I love that lifestyle. Yeah. Amazing.
Great.
I love that. All right. So to recap the 5, let's see if I can read my writing here. Number 1, dominate your market. Number 2 is and correct me if I get them wrong, Christie. Dominate your market.
Dominate your niche.
Dominate your niche. Number 2, monetize
your methodology.
I should just have you say them. Just you say them.
Number 3, I will tell you, right? I'm going to share a link at the end that has the whole roadmap in there with all 5 stages and all the steps of each stage.
There we go. I love
Thank
that.
you.
I love that. That's perfect. Awesome. And let's just go with that. And so talk to us briefly about, as you're talking to someone about this process and how you can help people, what are some of the things that hold them back from actually taking that step and saying, yes, let's do this, Christie?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that holds people back from success is that they want to wear too many hats. And this is just really common with entrepreneurs, right? We're creators, we're we are, as an entrepreneur, if you're a natural entrepreneur, you are a jack of all trades, right? We can figure things out. And I know that's my biggest challenge is I want to figure everything out. But when we get in the mindset of working less and we don't have to hustle, we don't have to be crazy to earn the kind of money we should be earning. It's really a mindset about just recognize the value you have in your wisdom, and you can make more money by sharing your wisdom, not by working really hard. So I think that's a big thing, is that the whole mindset around money and just recognizing how if you are a constant hustler, you're not going to be able to really serve the amount of people you need to serve. And if you serve somebody, they're going to potentially be hustlers too, because they're not seeing you show up like you want them to show up.
Love that. So what else holds people back? Anything else?
So definitely mindset, wearing too many hats, not having systems in place from the beginning. And that's a big thing. I see a lot of people, they want to be smart when they get started in a business. And I am all about that. You want to make sure that you are investing in the right ways that are going to get you the results you want. And we have to be smart when we're investing in our business. However, as an entrepreneur, we don't have offices, right? We may or may not have business insurance. We may or may not have to pay for a car. I mean, we don't have a lot of expenses that typical small businesses have. And so if we want to look at our business expenses, like legitimate business expenses, we need to kind of own what and be proud of and be confident in what we're creating. And so I'm saying all that leading up to where a lot of entrepreneurs, they get started and they want to kind of shoestring the systems of their business together. And, buy this system because it's cheap, and buy this system because it's cheap, and all these little mini systems. So they work together and do what a big system could do. And what that does is it creates more things to break down. It creates more complications in the automations, as opposed to having one system, even if it costs you $300 a month, and that's your core expense of your business, and you can bring in, $5,000, $10,000 a month, that $300 is not a lot. And I'm referring to like a CRM, where you can do everything from email marketing to text messaging to voicemail drops to having your membership portal in place, having your sales pages, having your website. And like some of these systems now can do it all. And it's just, if you do it later, it's really hard. And so when entrepreneurs get started and they want to go on a budget and they want to do everything cheap, and they get to the point where they have a list of 5,000 people on their list because they work really hard to make that happen, it's really hard to export that list and import it into another system in a way that's going to make those contacts communicatable. With the new laws, when you import a list, it's not the same as if somebody intentionally opts into your list. It used to be easy to do that, and we can import a list, but unfortunately, because of the way the systems are, if you have a good CRM, it's going to kind of flag that email as an imported email, and you're not going to have the same deliverability rate as if somebody intentionally opted into your list from their own doing. And so I think that's another big mistake that people make, is they try to go on a budget to build their business and think, oh, I'm going to eventually get there and switch everything over. And then it just creates more problems later.
Okay, so the message could be something like going pro from the beginning, just making sure everything is working, and investing and believing in yourself and your business.
Yes. Yeah. Investing in the right system that's going to get you where you need, as opposed to starting with like a baby system and thinking that you're going to continue to grow and grow and then change, because it's not easy to change your systems.
So
Okay.
if we were to start all over right now, Christie, with a system, with the new laws and everything, like things keep changing all the time, what system would you recommend right now that business?
So I have used, I'm afraid, okay, I've used Infusionsoft, which now they call Keep. I started using Infusionsoft maybe 10, 11 years ago. Love Infusionsoft. It has a lot of technology behind it, and there's a lot of reporting, and there's a lot of things that you can do to track your data. It's not necessarily the most user-friendly system out there, and it's not there's a lot of things that it doesn't do for the normal person. Yeah, if you're a programmer and if you know all the techie stuff, yeah, you could make it do anything. But it's a little limiting for the everyday person. I've used Ontraport, which is great. I've used Ontraport for a long time, but I didn't like the interface for my membership site. And so I ended up by switching to a Go High Level platform that there's a lot of pros and cons with Go High Level. And the reason why is because it was created as an agency platform. And then there were a lot of people that bought in to become an agency that didn't give the support. And so that they were selling the system as a white label product to their user, but wasn't providing the technical support that it was intended. And so I'm fortunate to be in a Go High Level product that has a great owner. It has a lot of extra programming built in. So I have access to a lot of different features. And it's been great because I have everything in one tool. And so for me right now, when I've tried a lot of different platforms, it has become my favorite platform and one that I recommend to my clients.
That's gold. Yeah. Each one has its own, pros and
Yeah.
cons. So yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for that insight. Appreciate that. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this has been fire sauce.
Yeah.
Is there anything else before we wrap this up? Anything else you'd like to share with the listeners?
Oh, you know what? I just have seen for the last, 20 years is working with women that I think our biggest obstacle can sometimes be the limitations we put on ourselves, not necessarily the limitations that are actually truly out there. And if you believe you can create something, and if you believe in your why around creating that outcome, then you can become unstoppable. And so that's kind of what brought me to where I am now, is because I have seen so many women realize their mess became their mission and they wanted to monetize that. And as long as they would get out of their own way, I could guide them on the right path to be able to create the business that they want. But we have to, I'm myself included, which is why I have a coach of my own. We have to get out of our own way if we want to make the biggest impact that we can, and the impact that we were really created to make. Because I believe in my heart that our messes were, maybe they weren't intentional, but I believe that they happened for us to use it as fuel. So if we take that mess and turn it as into fuel and let it be the vehicle that allows us to discover our purpose, then we should fulfill our destiny and profitize it. So that way we can continue to help people with that problem.
I love it.
This is so fire. It's really great. It's really great, Christie.
Unstoppable.
Yay!
Yes.
Unstoppable. Yeah. I love your message and all the value you're giving. Now, if you listeners are listening and you're thinking, hey, I like to work with Christie, how do they do that? What do they do?
Yeah, so I have a page that is got a little bit of a lot of different things in it. You just go to getthewholescoop.com. We'll have the link in the show notes, and basically it will have some of the resources I talked about. It'll have my roadmap on there. I'm hosting a women's cruise in February 25 on Virgin Voyages. It is a wellness type of a retreat for women to rise higher together, as well as I've got a couple of workshops that I'm hosting and different resources that will help people master and monetize their stories. And you can get that, or your audience can get that at getthewholescoop.com.
Okay, so it's at getthewholescoop.com.
Yes.
I love it. I hope a lot of our listeners are going to look into it, because it sounds like you have so much value in there. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I constantly update it. So what you see on there today may not be what you see on there tomorrow. So if your audience sees something that they like, just jump in and grab it. They're all free resources, and continue. Like I bookmark certain pages for people. We also have a gift vault that is linked in that page, and that gift vault, it contains a bunch of free resources from all of the guests that we have on our podcast. So I know, Angie, you're going to be on our show soon. So
Yes.
be prepared to give an amazing gift to our audience, and we'll add that to the gift vault as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're
yes,
working on that.
yeah,
Yay!
we got a great one we're going to be sharing with your audience. So.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right, Geety, wrap us up.
Yeah. I'm Gita Adgar.
And I'm awesome Angie Engstrom. And thank you all for listening. Keep your momentum, keep moving forward. And if you want to learn more about Elite Virtual Stages with Geety and myself, you can find us on Facebook as well as on the web at elitevirtualstages.com. Go to /Phil and elitevirtualstages.com/Phil, and you'll find us there on the web. And thank you, Christie, so much for joining us. This has been a joy and a pleasure. And just thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. It has been great to see you again, Angie, and to meet you, Geety.
Yes.
Thank you.
Go get them, everybody. Stay in momentum.